Money Heist Season 5 literally left everyone wondering what's going to happen next. Would you ever predict Arturo Roman going full Rambo in a forklift truck, or Detective Sierra accepting the professor's help? Everything is possible here because the Money Heist plot has always been impossible to predict. And now, with the new teaser released, it seems like Professor is 100% ready to make all dirty moves as needed to save the heist and the gang. Here are all the juiciest theories about what might happen in the finale part of Money Heist. And yes, this video is filled with spoilers. Theory number 5. Tokyo is alive. Well, this is the biggest conspiracy ever. When Tokyo died, literally everyone refused to believe it. Anyways, it was quite predictable that Tokyo won't let Ganya kill her gang. So instead of trying to escape, Tokyo made a brave last stand against the special forces and sacrificed herself, looked to terminate Ganya in his eye, winked at him, and detonated the bomb. Every time I think of this scene, it gives me goosebumps. Her last moment, Tokyo not only covered her gang, but had a perfect chance to pay back Ganya for killing her best friend, Nairobi. Even though Tokyo did a heroic act, fans refuse to believe that they will have to say goodbye to her, as she is the narrator of the entire show. She is the first one we meet in Money Heist. She reveals to us the entire story, and many fans actually think that she is doing it from prison. Moreover, many are convinced that she's actually the only one who survived, and that's why she tells it in such a nostalgic tone. But the craziest theory is that the entire Money Heist story is being made up in Tokyo's head. But the biggest guess and belief is that Tokyo actually has to be alive to tell you the whole story, to be a narrator, because how can you tell something when you are dead? Okay guys, let's be real, nobody can survive such an explosion, so think of Tokyo as an illusion that was created by the showrunners to trick all of us that she will make it to the end of the heist. But what has Tokyo always wanted the most in her life? Right, to be free. She once said, "I'd rather be on the run, and if I can't run with my body, at least let my soul be free." Theory number 4. Alicia Sierra can't be trusted. Alicia Sierra is a really nasty character to deal with. After the Part 2 trailer was released, it was pretty understandable that Alicia can't be trusted, and she will try to escape with her newborn daughter, Victoria. Even though the professor helped her during a traumatic birth, Alicia is not like Raquel Morello, Libsyn. She is not part of this gang. And if you were really attentive while watching the first part of the 5th season, you might have noticed that Sierra actually hid a pair of pliers up her sleeve. And the biggest theory is that Alicia will cut the professor's communication with the gang in the bank and will try to escape. Plus, let's get back to a moment during the birth where Alicia has found the professor's documents, so now she probably knows the entire plan and is going to double-cross him. Never underestimate Sierra, because she is very smart and dangerous. Moreover, she doesn't trust anyone. She's betrayed by the government and she is wanted now, so she plays her cards on her own. Plus, knowing what kind of person Alicia is, she would do her best to stay in Spain. As she said, she loves Spain the most, and she will probably use her newborn child as a cover reason just to escape jail time. One thing's for sure, this crazy woman will try to take the situation under her control in Part 2. I just hope that the professor predicted it the second Alicia entered the asylum and he has a plan to get her wrapped around her finger. Or, theory number 3, Raphael invented a secret escape plan. During Season 5, we saw lots of flashbacks with Berlin, his wife, and a son, Raphael. And we know that everything happens, or in this show, happens for a reason. So I'm not saying I'm a genius or something, but it seems like Raphael could be the one to invent a secret escape plan. Berlin died, but as far as Raphael is alive, he might even appear in the events of Part 2 and really save everyone's butts. Plus, it was obvious that Raphael is in love with Tatiana, his father's wife, and these two will probably have an affair. Plus, we all saw Raphael's face when Berlin said to him, "If you really want something in life, you have to steal it from someone who already has it." Such bad advice, Burl. Have you seen your son's face? He will 100% steal your wife. Theory number 2. Tatiana is the key. Speaking of Tatiana, she was not only Berlin's beautiful wife, but also a professional thief. And Tatiana actually knew all the details of the Bank of Spain robbery, even though the professor warned Berlin not to tell her. As the emotional links are deadly for such things as robbery, well, the professor himself has convinced of this several times after falling in love with Libsyn. Plus, the professor was sure that Tatiana eventually will betray Berlin. Anyways, Berlin has never listened to his brother, and Tatiana knew too much about the upcoming robbery. So, some fans think that Tatiana will not betray Berlin, and the T that she will actually be the one who will help finish the heist. But most fans are thinking the opposite. One Twitter user wrote, "Tatiana knows the plan and will join up with the police in Season 5 and reveal all." That is why Berlin says that in the right circumstances, anyone will betray someone. But the craziest theory ever is that Tatiana and Alicia Sierra are actually the same person. What? Come on, guys. Are all red hair girls looking the same for you or what? Not really cool, guys. Anyways, despite being different actresses, many think that they do look similar. No, they are not, and that Tatiana actually was able to change her identity somehow. What is even more crazy is that this would mean Alicia Sierra's late husband was Berlin, but this is not really possible since Libsyn knew and saw Alicia's husband. But it is interesting that his name is German. Germany, Berlin, you know, sounds like a crazy theory. Theory number 1, the gang has no escape plan. Actually, the Bank of Spain heist started just because Tokyo wanted to rescue Rio. Even though the plan was planned years ago by Pellerin Berlin and maybe Raphael and Tatiana, there's no plan B or something. At least, this is what we've heard from the professor and Libsyn. That's so weird to me, really. You guys are going to the craziest money heist in history and don't have a backup plan? Sounds not like the professor at all. One of the most heartbreaking and shocking moments of the season 5 is when Professor apologizes individually to every gang member. And this is the moment when you realize that the team is in the biggest trouble ever. Are you actually ready to accept that many of them won't make it till the end of the heist? But what will actually happen? We all know that the professor might still have a couple of trump cards up his sleeve. Here are 2 possible scenarios. The first one, the gold might save the gang. They simply don't need so much money, plus they're already wealthy because of their previous successful heist. So they might just find the allies outside and pay them to help the gang out, just like they previously did. Remember how they offered hostages to stand on their side by offering them money? Why not? Plus, people really love the gang and they would do anything to help them escape. Or they just exchange the money for the team. Because, as we remember, Tamiyo's been saying multiple times that the gold is really important. But one thing is for sure, we can try so hard to predict the final plot, but we know for sure that this show is well known for its plot twists. All I can say is that I can't wait to see part 2 of the show and check out all of our guesses and theories. Thanks for watching this video. Which theory seems the craziest for you? And maybe you have your own theory that we're not talking about in this video. Tell us in the comment section below, and we'll see you in the next video.